So we'd already done the invocation. We'll go forward now. The family man. Although he moved about constantly, Maharajji was still a family man on many levels, though preeminently it was God's family with which he identified. All women are mothers and sisters, and all men fathers and brothers in God's family. The whole universe is your home. All are your family. I think the capital ones are spoken by the great teacher like Neem Karoli Baba himself. That's my best guess as far as then capitals. The way in which Maharajji said such things often conveyed the impression that he, who's intimately understood reincarnation, was sharing with us a literal truth about our relationships with one another across births. On the more mundane level, Maharajji was much like a grandfather, especially to the Indian devotees. That's why they call him Babaji, right? As such, like when we go to Gurdwara, uh, there is the mm, there are specific set of people जिनको हम like we call Babaji. They are the ones that read the Guru Granth Sahib, right? And they usually have a big, long, white beard. Mostly everybody, they are aged to some level, and they are like the chief of the Gurdwara. They are the ones that usually read it also. So, and they are the ones that do the invocation at the end and at the beginning also. It's called Ardas. They are the ones that are usually termed as the word Babaji. At least that's what we've been taught. So so Babaji is like a grandfatherish kind of term, I think, applies at many, many levels. Let's go forward. On a more mundane level, Maharajji was very much like a grandfather, especially to the Indian devotees. And as such, he frequently gave counsel about family members. The gist of this counseling was clearly to keep the family unit strong by properly honoring the roles involved. The properly honoring the roles involved. A wife must serve God by serving her husband. Oh, that's lovely. I should share it to my wife. Maharajji most often instructed women to be loyal and patient. That this is good what kept the marriages together. No matter whether a man was bad or good. This is so important, my God. I don't know if really people understand this now. For example, a wealthy family came with a modern daughter dressed in pants and suit, unusual in India, who had left her husband. Maharaji said in front of everyone, yes, he was wrong, but you shouldn't have been so impatient and gotten so angry. Wow, see? Beautiful. Maharaji was very hard on the young woman. He felt that if cultural changes occurred such that women no longer held the family together, all would be lost. He said, this is why we don't have divorces. But now we have divorces very, very much, by the way. So, wow. See, so also to understand that Maharaj was saying whatever he was saying for that time. Today, I don't agree that a woman should be silent and keep accepting, keep accepting whatever the husband does and silently suffer. I don't agree with that. But there's a very good sentence that Neem Kurli Baba says over here. He says that a wife must serve God by serving her husband. And this is a very beautiful statement that he makes, and I think this is something which is wonderful. I think all men should share with their should share with their wife. Page number 274. Maharajji often this is lovely. I'm going to read it again. Yeah, Maharajji most often instructed women to be loyal and patient. That this is what kept the marriages together, no matter whether a man was bad or good. For example, this is a really beautiful statement, and I love this actually. Oh, for example, a wealthy family came with a modern daughter dressed in a pants suit, unusual in India, who had left her husband. Maharajji said in front of everyone, yes, he was wrong, but you shouldn't have been so impatient and gotten so angry. Maharajji was very hard on the young woman. He felt that if cultural changes occurred such that women no longer held the family together, all would be lost. He said that is why we don't have divorces. So that is really interesting. Though I accept majority of what he says, But I think it completely depends on case to case basis, and it's not just never leave. I don't agree with that either. By the way, like if the husband is abusive, please leave. Persistently abusive for no reason, please leave. Yeah. So that's my suggestion. Let's go forward. Women are higher than yogis if they are loyal to their husband. Women are higher than yogis if they are loyal to their husbands. Wow, कहाँ मिलती हैं आजकल ऐसी बीवियां? It's lovely. It's lovely. I think this is a fun section, man. It's such a fun section. Wow. Bharati said to a devotee, "You don't even care about your old father. Every day you should take sweets to your father. If a man has a father and mother, he needs no God. It is easy to pray to a murti, but hard when the murti speaks back," which is amazing, by the way. And no, I think it's 1960s or 50s or somewhere, actually. No, I was looking at my wife and cracking a joke कि कहाँ मिलती हैं आजकल ऐसी. Anyways, of course. Yeah. Then he made the man hold his ears, an Indian form of promising, similar to cross your heart, and promised that every day he would attend to his father and bring him sweets. The next the next evening, the father came to Maharaji. "What is this?" Maharaji said, "Your son loves and serves you, and you do nothing for him. You should make your son a new suit. He is your devotee." By the way, this is something which personally speaking, I think I've restarted some time back. Maybe at least a couple of years, no, more than that, 2, 3, 4 years back. I think after the pandemic, when I visited my parents, I started at least touching my feet of my parents on a very regular basis, everyday basis actually. Not multiple times in the same day, but everyday basis. And it seems excessive at sometimes to my parents, but I sort of, in my heart, make it a point to always do it. And yeah, it gives deep satisfaction. Just every single day when you see them for the first time, you touch their feet. And the same thing with my in-laws also. And yeah, it's not always godliness, it's just sign of respect, which I now genuinely want to give. Of course, we do everything else for them also, but this also takes the primary precedence. So yeah. Maharaji said that mothers were next to God, and he made them in this form in order to share himself, because only God and mother can forgive all faults. Wow, that's awesome, man. Wow. I think I don't know where did I read this, but it was said that somewhere a good quote that a woman's or that a wife's role is complete when she is able to become the mother of the husband or get into that role. Remember, there's a very beautiful quote like that. And a husband's role is complete when he becomes what? The girl's father, I think. I think so, but I'm not 100% sure exactly this is what was written. But you guys get the context, right? Like you have to be what, like the girl has to become the boy's mother and the guy has to become the girl's father. Something like that, like loves, cares, and protects and forgives, from both sides, ideally. Like something like that. Yes.
No, I was just regarding to the context we were discussing earlier, the earlier para.
Uh-huh.
The guys these days have also have changed. They are not like the older generations where they expect too much from only wives. They are also equally contributing in the household chores or whatever.
Yes, they contribute, yes. Anybody else wants to add anything on this? Anybody else is on a similar experience to it, please? Unmute yourself, please, and ask. All right. No worries, let's go forward. The mother of one of the Western devotees visited India and was asked what she experienced with Maharajji. I felt that I had a certain status. The word status is such a negative word in my life that I hate to use it. But I guess perhaps it applies. There was some kind of respect because I was a mother, which I felt was accorded to me by Maharajji. I had never gotten this from anyone else, certainly not in America. It was very nice. I know that Maharajji also gave such respect to Krishna's Das mother. The sanctity of motherhood was emphasized. All women are mothers. Intellectually, I have felt that there are good mothers and bad mothers, and the fact that you have given birth to someone doesn't really say much. Yet with him, the feeling was right. Wow. If my mother did not have her cloth over her head, Maharaji would say, "No, ma, that is not the way." He'd fix her cloth. That's beautiful. Often I would see old women feeding Maharaji directly. He said, "I can feed men, but women must feed me because all women are mother." Aha. You are angry with your wife. You should not treat you do not treat your wife well. She is Lakshmi. You should not treat her so badly, said Maharaji to a devotee. Oh wow. Show this to all the men also, by the way. M's son-in-law went to Kanchi to have darshan, but Maharaji wouldn't talk to him. Finally, he asked, "Where is my daughter? You've come alone to enjoy the hills. Go back and bring my daughter." Son-in-law left and returned later with his wife. Wow. With Indian young people in his relationship seem to be more. With Indian young people, his relationship seemed to be more of that of a grandfather, guiding in worldly matters, yet still touching with the spirit. Maharaji would come and sit in my room, and I'd never go there because I was afraid he'd tell everything, and I didn't want my parents to know. Kay, Kay played like a child when she was with Maharaji. Though she had loving devotion to him, Maharaji chastised her, saying, "You don't read the books, and then you get angry with me for your bad marks in school." By the way, it sort of means that you don't learn the life lessons, and then when life punches you back, you have no way to defend, and bad marks, basically bad performance. Maharaji told a student to worship his mother every day if he expected to pass exams. He didn't do so, nor did he pass the exams. Wow. Wow. I think it's also a form of projecting love and forgiveness. Something like that, yeah? Son of one of the Mas said that Maharaji always gave him worldly rather than spiritual guidance when he was young. He said that he had not been interested in spiritual things then, that now he has some spiritual feelings and remembers Maharaji often. That's actually very, very good, no? It's something like this. I remember understand correctly as best as I can. The great spiritual teachers guide you based upon the soul's need, not just anything. Same thing to everybody. It's not like that. Of course, later on you realize that every teaching is very, very well balanced teaching, right? Anyways, um, let's put it that way. There is a good section of, shall we use the word, the great spiritual teachers actually, they when they will guide you on some aspects of life. Um, when I said souls need, if you are a younger soul, if you haven't had any like younger, matlab actually young, like there is nothing else, not much an experience for you. They'll probably advise you to work a lot, to travel a lot. They will not actually tell you to meditate. It's counterproductive actually. They will actually guide you to do a lot of hard work, a lot of physical hard work. You should go out and play. you should take more responsibilities. It's like a very young flower hasn't properly opened up, right? We can't be used for anything, right? And something like that, where a lot of interaction is involved, where a lot of work is involved, a lot of faculties bridging up is involved. Not much, not meditation, almost not meditation, a very basic form of breath meditation, but that is same for everybody then. Just to calm the mind, that's all. Um, and he will be encouraged to take more responsibilities, because that's when the bodies will start to build, and he will be asked to go study, to go learn new subjects. You know what I'm saying? To do a lot of work, in short that, and to let the pride and ego swell for some incarnation, so that he has sense of achievement also. Ye kiya maine, ye kiya maine, that is very important for people like the ones they're younger souls, because they do a lot of work. They need to see the results also. Older souls, it may or may not be as important to see the results. What is important is to do the work. Now, what is if you're a mid-age soul, you probably will be sent for meditation, or be given specific responsibilities which have greater challenges, or greater, what is that called as, greater, if it goes wrong, it's gonna cause get a kickback, bigger responsibilities, for example, right? Something like that. But also meditations, because many of the mid-age souls are very materialistic, and they need meditation to get out of the materialism. So they may be asked to become monks, become sadhus, become bhikshu, beggars, do a lot of public service, karma yoga, things like that. Then there are older souls who've been meditating a lot in the past lifetimes. So probably about to become initiates or arahats or whatever, right? Old souls, they are usually guided to balance their meditation with worldly responsibilities. That's why the great teacher will ask them to meditate, to not just to meditate, but to also go have a family, to go have a stable job, because they're already fairly spiritually inclined. And sometimes over spirituality can destroy the, what shall we say, possibility of an incarnation. What was possible in an incarnation can get destroyed. So it's very crucial to guide properly people in specific ways, and yeah, differently do different kinds. Let's go forward. Some students came and looked at Maharaji with cold expressions and started to go away. Maharaji called to them and said, "You're enjoying in your way, and I in mine." Though they wanted to leave the temple, they were reluctant to go. They wandered around confused. After some time, they came back for another darshan. Now their faces were softer and more animated. His work with the heart was so subtle. Young men are like lions. Wow. Maharaj spent some time at our house in Haldwani. When I was 9 or 10, whenever I would come, he'd say, "My daughter has come, my daughter has come. Meri beti aa gayi." The day he left, I was very sad, and he wouldn't even look at me. That night, I was so upset that I couldn't eat supper. At 4 a.m., there was a knock at the door. Mother saw that it was Maharaji and let him in. He told my mother, "I came back just for my daughter. You have 4 chapatis and some vegetables," and that she didn't eat. 4 chapatis, huh? इतना कितना खाती है बच्ची यार? Bring them and we shall eat together. Bring them, we shall eat together. My God. An old man was brought to Maharaji for the first time, but he hadn't wanted to come. As he came in, Maharaji said, "Stop beating your son so much. It is not going to make him any better." The man had in fact been beating his son a great deal. Only his wife had known. And after he left Maharaji, he chided his wife for telling, but she didn't. When he then went to slap his son, he would hit him once then find himself slapping his own face. Oh, really? This continued until his own face was black and blue. After that, he stopped beating his son. So it's like you hit him, and the slap comes here, for example. Amazing. We the great teachers work, man. My God. Sometimes I think that great like him would have assigned an angel saying, you know what, every time he slaps his son, the hand should go back and hit his. So angel was okay, always on duty like this. Till the time he stopped slapping his kind of very funny if you think about it. Like the only work of the angel is to like just watch when you're gonna slap his son and make sure that he slaps himself also. To the elders who were living with the children, Maharajji often repeated, Mon, non, con, which translates to silence, mon, that is don't grumble or complain. No, acha, noon, non, yeah. Salt, that is don't point out faults or make judgments, such as there is not enough salt in the food. But don't keep cribbing, basically, right? And con, corner, don't interfere with family life. Stay out of the world and in the corner. Corner. Don't interfere in family life. Stay out of the world and in the corner. Maharaji often played the role of arranger of marriages, of the few who already seemed to marry to God. He was protective, helping them escape the parental pressures to marry. But for most, he encouraged and even bulldozed them into marriage. This is exactly what's important. Sometimes what happens is those people who should be pushed to marriage, not everybody. Like these Indian parents are like 27, not married, come on, 28, oh my God, like. So what happens is that many people, spiritually speaking, who need marriage are the ones who can either learn something from the opposite gender, which is extremely like I learned so many things when I married my wife. Subtler things which I really didn't know. Many things about emotional world I learned after I started to stay with my wife and observe her. And we've had arguments and not so good times, but eventually everything led to a smooth, streamlined way where I learned to respect the other side of the world, which is alien to me, the emotional world, much better, more deeper respect came out. In short, what I'm trying to say. Um, that is a very good uh, reason for which souls should choose to marry. There's lot of stuff to learn. And most people I know, whether women or men, when they get married to the person, the choice or not the choice, it doesn't matter. There is a lot of plethora of lessons then. Master Cook, so our spiritual teacher says that the person you stay with produces friction with you. You don't stay with not much friction, right? Lot of friction, a lot of heat, right? So heat in the arguments and things like that damages the ego and crushes you sometimes. But it's very important also. And this is my very sincere request. If you guys are still contemplating marriage, feel free, please go get married. Situation will teach you a lot about yourself, not just about the other person. That for yourself, wala part ke liye, please get married. This is a fantastic reason to get married. Of course, you get to be with a very good person and so and so and so. You learn to make things work, by the way. You learn to make things work at any cost that, and all of you probably are married already, but you learn to make things work even when you are, um, even when you don't like two things about what the person is going to contribute or say or do, but you still learn to make things work. This is good alchemy of what is that ray 4 manifesting in your system, and good ray 4 by the way will manifest when there are sufficient arguments taking place, and then you find a way out. Harmony through conflicts, right? When there is oh yeah, having children will teach you so much more. I can't even imagine that right now. Wow. I wish someday all those lessons that you guys have learned with kids, I can just download. And I don't have to. I'm just perfect parent on the day one. And there is just like, anyways, I just a dream for now. To the elders who were living with their children, Maharajji often repeated mon, non, con, which translates to silence, don't grumble or complain, salt. That is, don't point out faults or make judgments, such as there is not enough salt in the food. And corner, don't interfere in family life. Stay out of the world and in the corner. Maharaji often played the role of arranger of marriages. Of the few who already seem married to God, he was protective, helping them escape the parental pressures to marry. But for most, he encouraged, even bulldozed them into marital state. Rabu said that he wouldn't marry, but when Maharaji told him he had been saving this girl for him for 5 years, oh God, the way excellent salesman, my God, who would think that? Oh God, Rabu married her. One of the Ma's son was adamant about not getting married, and the Ma came to Maharaji for help. Maharaji met the son on a bridge and put a blanket over his head and then said, he'll get married. He is now prepared. Really? That's so cool, no? Imagine, imagine. See, there is no such technique as of now. I'm very sure of it. But imagine there is a technique, at least not in prana killing, there's no such technique. If you can um, project a thought so deep in the mind that it looks like it's your own thought. You know what I'm trying to say? Project a thought in somebody else so profound. This idea comes from a movie called Inception, but we had a lot of debate about it when the movie actually came. And me and my bunch of Hatha Yoga practitioner friends, we would go and we would debate for multiple sessions actually. And but the outcome was there was no such technique that is known to or to any of us by which you can project a thought form in somebody as by the way, it's wrong to do in the first place. It is not right to do in the first place. It's very wrong to do if because it's not just manipulation, it's complete transformation according to what you want. Unless you shouldn't do it unless you're completely aligned with the God's will in the first place, which is not many of us, right? Unless you're a great master, not even arhat, unless you're a great master, you ideally shouldn't be doing any of these things, by the way. But yeah, so we figured out that there's no technique for this. No technique was available as such. And so we experimented, by the way. I mean, we used to experiment so much of that. We experimented with this thought, that thought, ये वो वहां से सब कुछ करके. And that's why partially some things are good, but to me, we experimented ki the thought from how deep did it go? Not much. Because soul didn't accept it. Soul is a being of wisdom and discernment at its own level. It um, didn't accept what we offered somehow. So maybe I don't understand it as much right now. But yeah, something like this would have happened over here. He'll get married. He's not prepared. Maharajji once told a devotee to call his neighbor over. She was a doctor, a Christian woman whose husband had died, leaving her with three young daughters. As soon as she came into the room, Maharajji said, "Your daughter hasn't been married yet? You met an eligible young man in Kerala. His family wants 20,000 rupees. You can't give 20,000." She replied, "This was so." The next day, Maharaji again called her. You should go. Approach the boy's family again. They won't ask for money. Give them whatever you can, they'll accept. She went to Kerala. The boy's father explained that money wasn't important, that they wanted a good wife for their son, and the wedding was arranged at a minimum cost to the woman. That's beautiful, see? Wow. Transformation, beautiful. A traditional Indian woman and her daughter, both obviously disturbed, were waiting for a moment alone with Maharaji. But just as they arrived, Maharaji said in front of everyone, "Look, she should marry the dark one because she isn't very pretty." Aha. Your daughter isn't pretty. And if one who isn't pretty marries a handsome man, he'll always have eyes for others. Let her marry the dark one. MS, another devotee there, was so embarrassed for the woman that she said in her mind, "Oh Maharajji." Ah, by the way, it is practical, right? You understand? It's very practical. But then, if you go about saying it now, people will label him as racist or skin color pe judge kar raha hai kind of thing. It's practical, man. I haven't seen too many. No, I've actually seen very beautiful women get married to men that are not so good looking, but those men are very rich. So perfect. There's no problem. Yeah, I haven't seen. Problem is maybe I haven't seen too many very good looking men married to women that are not good looking. But I haven't seen. Every woman looks good in their own way, so I just can't, not good looking, and as an I can't point it out. Plus, I don't know who is married and who is not. Also, in Bangalore, two people are roaming around. They may be married. They may be working together in a company. They could be, boyfriend girlfriend. They could be strangers which I met today only. There could be so many possibilities. Very hard to say who is that, who is not. But I haven't seen too many people, at least in wherever I stay, where the man is very handsome and the girl is not so beautiful. But if you guys have more experiences with it, please share. So at least I would know if this is true that the guy looks around more. I don't know that. Maybe not. God knows. But it seems true because he's saying it. But no personal understanding. My aunt had a pock marks and wasn't अच्छा pock mark मतलब face पे कहीं कहीं पे marks होंगे. Wasn't very pretty. She was sad because she had not married. Maharaji said to her, "You are mine," embracing her, filled with bliss. She no longer desired to marry. Then a month later, she became engaged to a very nice man. Wow. In my youth, I had taken a vow not to get married. From the day my aunt, who had raised me, died, my family tried to get me married, but I was adamant. When I was between the ages of 25 and 30, Maharaji would tell me not to get married and told people that I was a tubercular and had cancer and that I was dying. In my 30th year, Maharaji asked me, "Do you want to get married?" No, I answered. Maharaji then admired my shirt and asked to have it. He said, he asked what sort of shirts I had before I started college. And I replied that I had only one old, torn shirt, but it served the purpose. Maharaj then asked how many I had now. I said I have 12. Then asked why I had so many. I replied that as a teacher in public school, I had to maintain certain code of dress or I'd be fired. Bharati said, no, it is not this. Now you want to get married. You could have done with one shirt. If I ask you to marry, what will you do? I told him in that case, I'd have to marry, but the responsibility would be Maharaj's. For 8 days, Maharaji continued to press for my marriage. On the eighth morning, Maharaji set off to catch the train. On the way to the station, he turned off the road to a young woman's house and beckoned me to go in with him. That's so cool, man. That is the matchmaker, like or matchmaker on the run. Like wow. There was Kirtan going on, and Maharaji was sitting in the puja room. I was called in, and so was the young woman. Maharaji asked if I had married this girl, but I refused. Maharaji said, "If I ask you to," I replied that the responsibility would be Maharaji's. First, Maharaji said, "I do not, I'll not do it." Then he said, all right. I'll solemnize the marriage." She put tilaks on our foreheads. Wow. Imagine a great master blessing the marriage by literally by force. That's amazing. He put tilaks on our forehead and said, "There, I've got you married. Do you accept it?" Yes. Later, Maharaj said, "Don't think that I or you have done this. God plays the Leela in his own way. No role of mine, none of yours. It was to happen. My wife and I have been very happy for over 25 years." That's remarkable. I've only seen very less videos of people where a great master gets people married. One of them is Master Chokoksoi. I remember at least a couple of AYs where he got them married in Arhatic retreat in the break time. He did their what is called Arhatic wedding. Very beautiful concept. Someday we'll talk about it. And that was truly touching to hear. I've seen Satyasai Baba at least a couple of times getting married. Westerners, not Indians, but Westerners were he was getting Westerners married. I've also seen Paramahams Yogananda getting a couple married, a Western couple married. But eventually, all of this is just, you know, imagine a great saint. Nimkuli Baba is God knows what level of initiation. I have zero idea. Imagine him getting married to such so beautiful by force also, by the way, not by choice. Yeah. You marry her. करके. Siddhi Ma one day described the marriage lila of one of the Maharajji's long-term devotees. On the very day of this man's marriage, which Maharajji had arranged and insisted upon, to the man's objection, the man sat before Maharaji and would not leave him. But Maharaji insisted so forcibly that at last the man was taken and dressed in groom's garb and seated on a horse for the ride to the bride's home. As he was riding through the jungle, he spied Maharaji wandering there, and he leaped off his horse and ran to him. Again, Maharaji forced him to return and continued with the marriage. The man whose children are now being married reports that this marriage was a spiritual boon and freed him from many misconceptions. Only after marriage, he reports, did his sadhana truly begin. That's amazing. That's amazing. On hearing this story, another devotee told of a man whose marriage was all arranged. And on the wedding day, the groom's procession passed by Kenchi. The groom saw that Maharaj was there and so stopped off with the intention of obtaining his blessings before continuing on. To his surprise, Maharaji instead detained him, refusing to let him continue to the bride's home. And the man never married. Wow. Wow. Although Maharaji was formal and traditional in his reactions to Indian marriages, he obviously recognized vast cultural differences in the marriage mores of his Western devotees. Some he pressed continually to marry, asking them again and again, and offering them up as a partner, one choice after another. In a few instances, he took two relative strangers and announced that they were now married or should marry. Oh wow. Two strangers, huh? That's fancy. Wow, that's fancy. Sometimes Maharaji talked about a certain union so much with two potential partners that they psychologically accepted the match as a fait accompli. Then Maharaji would never mention the matter again and the marriage would not happen. Sometimes when such an arranged marriage didn't seem to take, he dissolved it with alacrity. Three times Maharaji asked me if I wanted to get married. Hey, this is Ramdas, no, somebody else's. Ravidas. Three times Maharaji asked me if I wanted to get married. The first time was with Ian. Every evening after darshan, we'd walk the 2 miles up that beautiful Kenchi Valley to our house in Ninglat. Ian was such an astral being that when I was with him, everything was magic, roses and winged fairies. One night, Ian came over to my house. There was a lot of sexual energy in the air. I turned it away since it really wasn't the time or the place. But after he left, my whole body was alive with desire. I just lay there with it and tried to think of Maharaji. The next morning, the minute I entered the temple for darshan, Maharaji called me right into the room where he was sitting with Dada. Maharaji asked me, do you want to get married? I said, no. He said, do you want to marry Ian? No, no. I wasn't horrified. There was simply no question in my mind. I hadn't even made a connection between this his darshan and the night before. Maybe there wasn't one, but as Maharaj was asking me, he looked deeply at me as if to study my whole being. And then he turned around to Dada and said, she's very good. And then he hit me on the head and said, you're very good. Don't get married. Ciao. I started to get up and then he said, sit down. He hit me on the head again and said, you're very good. Don't get married. Ciao. Then again, another time before I left. The second time he asked me whether I wanted to get married was after I had hitchhiked from Vrindavan to Kenchi with Carlos Vishwanath. It was an overnight trip, and we had slept on the platform of some train station. When we arrived in Kenchi, Maharaji pulled me into his room right away and asked, "Do you want to marry Vishwanath?" Again, there was no question in my mind. So Maharaji said, "Acha, good, don't get married. Jao." Third time this occurred when another devotee playfully said to Maharaji, "Saraswati isn't married yet. You haven't married her off yet. You should marry her to Ravidas, which is Michael." Maharaji said, "Acha, that's very good. Bring her here." When I appeared, he asked me, "Do you want to marry Ravidas?" The devotee started laughing. I said, "But Maharaji, he's like my father." So Maharaji said, "Acha, very good. Don't get married." And he sent me out again. Then he called in Ravidas and asked the same question about me. Ravidas' reply was, "Maharaji, I only want to marry you." How beautiful, man. How beautiful. Maharaji kept asking me if I wanted to marry. I kept answering that I only wanted to marry him. Then he'd say, "But how can you fulfill your desires if you marry me?" Of course, no. Of course. We had a saying in those days, don't bring your date to see Maharaji because we might marry you. We might marry you off. How, how perfect. How perfect is this? Don't bring your date. I don't think Indians had a concept of date at that time at all. During my first darshan with Maharaji, I walked in with an old friend of mine I'd known in America. Just as we neared the gate, the friend grew frightened and said, "I can't go in there with you. We have to go in alone. He might marry us." That's fancy. When Maharaji arranged the marriage of J and K, he told them that marriage was nothing to celebrate. Marriage, he said, meant that you were fettered by the feet to the world. See? Which means you are now anchored with responsibilities. Remarkable. For example, no, I will tell you a very serious thing, okay? I've been practicing Nordic yoga since 2013, I think, 2014, 2013, 2014. And I was at a point of time for a good pocket of 5, 7 years. I was not really wanting to work. Of course, I had to work because I had to earn money, but I only wanted to read and meditate. Study and meditate, study and meditate, study and meditate. And I did a lot of reading and meditating at that time, like so much of it. More than 50% of the books in the whole library till bottom are already read. Some of them more than one time. So a lot of reading and a lot of meditating happened that time, and a lot of discussions, a lot of study sessions. A large portion of the life at that time was primarily focused on that. Um, and I thought at that time that, oh no, I'm developing a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like your own illusions, you live with your own illusions, right? Though intellectually, yeah, sure. But the smell of being with a person, like the taste of being with a person, it's like you know everything about what goes in a khichdi, but you have never tasted it. Of course, I was dating my wife for a very, very long time, but that was in a dating stage, right? Like a good 6 years, I think. I was dating her before I actually got married. Now, the problem was that it seemed very good, but only when things started to, like, when we started to stay together is when uh, more than the rosy picture appeared. Of course, it happens everywhere, right? And then there was responsibility, then there was this. A lot of things started to come as a result of getting married. And like it's my rosy picture, oh, I was really almost as good as perfect, shattered so perfectly. And I think it ended up with me realizing a lot that there's a huge scope to grow in this area. There's almost no growth in this area at all. Now I think I'm making some progress, of course, over there, but that is because of thanks to persistence of my wife, who's like Gagan. So I'm like, okay, okay, I'll try. So I think one of the major area where I had to grow as a bachelor to a married man, which took me quite a while, by the way, was not taking responsibility for the house. This is a seriously big area, by the way. Huh? I had a maid who would do everything for me, in my previous before marriage wala house, and everything was on her. She would do everything. I would not do anything. So I never bothered to take care of the house in that sense at all. Uh, and she wouldn't even take a leave, so the house was never a mess in that sense. Eventually, Kevin, my wife was like, not everything has to be done by maid. You'll do certain things. And I said, why do you have to do everything, And so like this a little bit, I don't do everything, we are paying her, she'll do. And but she said, no, that is not the right thing. And I think it took me about a good 1+ year to figure out, my wife is actually right. Not everything has to be done by maid. Like picking your things up and putting it in place, we can tell the maid, but you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to take care of your wardrobe, your this, your that, your everything. Maid, वो maid का काम नहीं है. And initially I resisted because I don't want extra work on my head, but I realized it was actually very important. Back in the day, my maid would do everything. They would know which clothes to press, which to put where, food, chase, that. They knew everything about. But then I realized the value of what my wife was saying, and I have deeper and deeper respect for that actually. And I take initiatives automatically now because I see value in it now. So this illusion breaking and the validation took actually you know some turmoils of emotional kind. See, your feet, that you were fettered by the feet to the world now. Bharati was a family man at yet another level. Although most of his devotees never heard about it during his lifetime and did not believe it when they did hear. Apparently, he was betrothed, matlab engaged and married at the age of 8 before running away from the house and becoming a sadhu. Although he never returned home, the woman to whom he was betrothed as a child performed much tapasya and prayed that he would return so that her life as a woman could be fulfilled. He did return temporarily and fathered 2 children. Oh, really? 2 children with her, although he never remained with the family as a householder. Yet the family, which now includes several grandchildren, reports that Maharajji always watched out for their material comfort and always arrived to fulfill the ritualistic functions demanded by his role as a father and the head of the household. They all consider him primarily as their guru. Wow. Wow. This is Krishna Das, Ray Bani, Krishna Das. How perfectly good picture, no? My God, what a timely clicked picture. My God. That touch of grace. We can read this or we can pause for now because it's 10:57. Starting a new chapter won't make much sense. But I hope you guys learned some new stuff today. And yeah, if you guys someday are willing to visit Kenchi Dham, um, that would be a fantastic thing, by the way. It is said that many of the devotees of Neem Karoli Baba came from the West, and now they're super, super successful, intellectually very superior, and performing brilliantly in their field. So many, many people go to Kenshidam to receive the blessings of Neem Karoli Baba. Oh, wow. Oh, I had every intention of getting married, by the way. Let's close the session. To the Supreme God, Divine Father, Divine Mother, thank you for your great blessings. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you to our great spiritual teacher, to all the great spiritual teachers, to all the great gods and goddesses, to all the great, great ones. We very, very humbly thank you for your great blessings. We very, very humbly thank you to the great name Karoli Baba. Thank you for all your blessings in our life. Thank you for blessing our life in all the areas that we need the blessings, even though we may not know what to ask. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. If you're upset that why did you get married, or you could have stayed single or whatever, look at the amount of growth you've had, not the stress that you're getting now. You're not looking at the right picture then. You're looking at only the sad parts. For example, how much karma would have worked out? Let's scan. Anybody wants to get their marriage thing scanned? How much growth happened? Let's scan. I will be very happy to. Okay, there is something, Dr. Shalaka. Let's scan her. Everybody, yeah, other people also. But just scan. Scanning is the technique taught in pranic healing courses. I'm just gonna quickly scan this out for you. Okay, everybody can see her face, right? All right. So let's just say, you've been married for how many years? Just type in the chat. 23 years, okay? Yeah. Let's say this is a growth that Dr. Shailakaji, the soul, has had in 23 years. The growth. Whatever growth means for the soul, okay? 23 years में इतना growth हुआ, ठीक है? How much of growth happened before all the years before she had got married? Was negligible, practically negligible. There is something, but it's not even 2% properly. This is the value what your partner and the in-laws got. It's just uncomparable. It's not comparable. This versus, I'm telling you, it's about this much, okay? The previous years. You may be working a lot, but there's no growth for the soul unless there's friction properly. Office, no friction. Parents, no friction. No growth, no grind. Radha Sen, let's check. All the women, where the men? Come on. Anyways, Radha Sen, how many years of marriage? Just type in the chat, please. And Sejal, you also check, type in the chat, please. Yeah, 17 years of marriage of Radha Sen has these many years, this much growth soul underwent in 17 years of marriage. Okay, before she got married, all the years, how much growth did she actually have? Radha Sen is also there. See, it's there. But for Shalaka ji, the growth was magnanimous. Matlab, there was almost like a 100x ka growth tha. That was 100 times ka growth tha. Rather than about 6, 7 times more. Maybe you got a good husband, doesn't challenge you that much probably. Cyril Choksi. 26 years of marriage. May this amount of growth this world has undergone, for example, and before she got married, all the years put together, the amount of growth the soul had undergone was approximately. Hmm. Good family, huh? Not that bad a family, at least. Or maybe, I don't know, you didn't learn or what happened, but the growth seems to be only 2.5 times. Not as good as Shalakaji. For example, for Shalakaji, marriage is recommended. Highly recommended. You know what I'm saying? Recommended. There's somebody else who's Chandani ji, 23 years of marriage. This is the amount of growth that she's had in the marriage years. Soul's growth in marriage years about this much. Soul's growth in about, say, all the years before marriage was about this much, which is also there. See, Tushar Charan. I don't know. I can. Oh, there's a guy. Tushar is a guy or a girl? I don't know. Just making sure of that. Anyways, I am not going to scan for everybody. Okay, I'm just trying to tell you that you guys can scan for yourself also. Um, This is important, yeah. So, for example, in my own question, I've been married for less than 2 years, by the way, now. So the amount of soul growth, no, you know what? That is not accurate. That is not accurate. The amount of soul growth which has happened, uh, before January. Because I know other things have also changed. So I'll just say before January. Today is 2025, right? In the year 2024, okay, that is when I got married, right? Amount of soul growth in the year 2024 was about to say this much for me. The soul growth that I had undergone all the years before I was married was actually significantly higher than that. There was, well, I did learn quite a lot in the marriage time also, but previous years were also significantly contributing. So that doesn't make. Yes, your hand is not raised. I don't know how can I. Ah, yeah. यस।
आत्मा नमस्ते गगन जी। थैंक यू
अपना।
सो मच फॉर वंडरफुल सेशन। एंड अभी जो बात हो रही थी उसमें अभी मतलब कुछ एक्सपीरियंस किया है मैंने, मतलब बच्चों शादी के बारे में, कि जैसे मेरी बेटी है, अभी 11th में है, एंड उसके जो फ्रेंड्स हैं उनके जैसे मतलब मैं, मतलब नहीं करना चाहिए बट मैं कर लेती हूँ उनके इंस्टा मैसेज पढ़ लेती हूँ चुपके से। तो उनमें और मतलब मेरी और फ्रेंड है, उनकी बेटी बड़ी है, मतलब कॉलेज में है। तो उन उन लोगों के जो फ्रेंड्स हैं, अब मेरी डॉटर भी होगी मुझे नहीं पता और उनकी भी होगी, तो उनके जो मतलब फ्रेंडशिप कह लो या डेटिंग कह लो या फिर मतलब अफेयर्स कह लो, कुछ भी कह लो, बट उन लोगों में बहुत ज्यादा मतलब फिजिकल बहुत ज्यादा उन लोगों में। तो फिर मतलब जब आप मतलब इतनी एज से ये सब कुछ करना स्टार्ट कर रहे हो तो फिर शादी भी कर लेनी चाहिए ना, मतलब टाइम पे। उसके लिए फिर क्यों मना है कि नहीं हमें शादी नहीं करनी, बट ये तो करना ही है। तो ये और फिर जब हमें मतलब प्राणी हीलिंग में आने के बाद मतलब बहुत सारी चीजें सीखी कि भाई हाँ अपना वन ही पार्टनर होना चाहिए हमें, हमारी चीजों का मतलब इस तरीके से हमें ग्रो करना चाहिए कि हम मतलब जगह जगह जाके दूसरे मतलब हम कॉर्ड्स ना क्रिएट करें एक दूसरे के लिए, या फिर एक दूसरे की एनर्जी ऐसे एक्सचेंज ना करें, उससे भी हम बहुत सारी चीजें उनके कर्मा अपने पास ले आते हैं और अपने कर्मा उनके पास ले जाते हैं। तो ये मतलब मेरे दिमाग में बहुत चल रहा है। अभी एक मेरी फ्रेंड थी, वो दिल्ली, उसकी बेटी दिल्ली गई थी डीयू में पढ़ने, बट वो 1 साल में परेशान होके वापस आ गई जयपुर कि नहीं मतलब मैं वहां नहीं रह सकती, उन लोगों का जो कल्चर है मतलब वो बर्दाश्त नहीं कर पा रही थी। तो मतलब फिर इस पे हम क्या कह सकते हैं, मतलब जय